Oh,
Did
yeah,
you
got
hear
that
that?
wrong. Okay,
Excuse me,
misspoke there.
Rumpus,
Okay,
did you
you're
hear
right.
that?
You're right. You're right. I misspoke.
You are a liar. Not a
Misspoke.
misspeaker, a
I
liar.
misspoke.
I asked you to deny it 3 times and made you aware of the consequences. You are a liar.
No, you don't understand what a lie is then.
Yeah, I understand your intention to deceive with incorrect information.
You think that's a lie. You don't understand what a lie
Yes,
is.
your intention was to deceive. You have just told us that you are not using the mass of the Earth as a variable, and you have given us a very detailed explanation as to why and what you will use, contrary to what you said yesterday. Your intention to deceive is absolutely apparent, Rumpus. You are a liar.
You don't know what a liar is then.
Yes, somebody who uses incorrect information with the intention to deceive. Your intention was to deceive. So, given that we've now found out your lie and exposed your intention to deceive, and you have conceded that it is a variable.
You don't know what a lie is, do you, Nathan?
Sorry, let's just establish. Is the mass of the Earth one of your variables? Yes
Not
or
in
no?
the Cavendish experiment, no.
Really? That's interesting. Let's just hear exactly what Rumpus had to say again yesterday. Singular, independent variable for the Cavendish experiment.
Well, I could pick on one or two to play with. Like I've got the.
Just give me one. Listen. Give me one.
Okay. Okay, I can change the radius. Can be the one I'll pick on because I could pick on 2 of the 3. One's the mass of the Earth. One's.
Give me the singular, independent variable for the Cavendish experiment.
Well, I could pick on one or two to play with. Like I've got the.
Just give me one. Listen. Give me one.
Okay. Okay, I can change the radius. Can be the one I'll pick on because I could pick on 2 of the 3. One's the mass of the Earth. One's the.
Give me the singular, independent variable for the Cavendish experiment. That was quite clear, Rumpus. I was quite clear. I said, give me the single independent variable for the Cavendish experiment. Stop talking. Stop talking, Rumpus, you outright liar.
There are 3 you can pick on, you idiot. You don't understand. There are 3 independent variables you can.
I'll ask my question again. Is the mass of the Earth one of your independent variables as asserted yesterday?
I misspoke. It's not in the Cavendish experiment. It's not one of the independent variables, no.
Sorry, you made it quite clear yesterday that it was.
I misspoke. I just told you.
So the mass of the Earth is not an independent variable?
Not in the Cavendish experiment, no.
So, answer me this. The experiment was set up to weigh the mass of the Earth.
That was one of its objectives, yes, which you can do having
Excuse me, you've just confirmed what you have just denied. So now, Rumpus, we have a glaring contradiction from a liar.
You're an idiot.
That's your best response. I'll say it again. We have a lot of word salad and a lot of lies and a lot of contradictions from you, Rumpus. I'm making this abundantly clear to my audience. Do you want me to repeat your lie that you denied 3 times?
You don't know what a lie is, do you?
Yes, an intention to deceive with incorrect information. So you have absolutely demonstrated your intention to deceive here, Rumpus.
You don't understand what a lie is.
Yes, an intention to deceive with incorrect, false information. I've said it about 4 times.
And you got it wrong.
Right. I'm not going to get into what you think a lie is. You said something, I said you were wrong, and on 3 separate occasions, you told me that I was wrong in my assertion. 3 times, I said deny it again, and I'll label you a liar. You denied it a 3rd time, then I played the clip, then you said you misspoke. Your intention to deceive is absolutely What is your problem?
Used it to measure the mass of the Earth.
So hold on. So we are measuring the mass of the Earth.
You can use the experiment to measure the mass of the Earth. But
Sorry,
it doesn't do it directly.
So we're not measuring the mass of the Earth.
Let me give you a sentence, Nathan. If you let me finish a sentence, we'll perhaps get through all this and stop this garbage verbiage. Right. The experiment is determining the value of G in the equation that presumably you're not showing here. Once you've determined the value of big G, you can then determine the mass of the Earth from knowing what the forces of a mass is that you can control. So it does two things, this experiment. One, it evaluates the value of big G. Two, you can then use that valuation of big G to evaluate the mass of the Earth. So the reason I misspoke was because Cavendish actually was trying to use it to measure the mass of the Earth, but he did so by initially determining the value of G. So that's why I misspoke, because he had a different objective. But
so what was, sorry, Rumpus, so again, what was the observed phenomena in the experiment?
Torsion bar rotation.
So the effect is torsion bar rotation.
Correct. The angle, yes, correct.
Right. That's not gravity.
Correct. But it's caused by gravity.
Oh, sorry. It's caused by gravity. So the cause in an experiment would be the independent variable. So what's the independent variable?
There are three I can pick off. This is what you don't understand.
No, I do understand. We have one independent variable in the scientific method, Rumpus. Just one. And as we go forward with our prediction, a hypothesis, we validate or invalidate that single independent variable. If we invalidate it, it goes away. We move on to another one. It doesn't become a control because you've invalidated it.
I've got the answer for you. Right.
I'm not asking a question. I am telling you what the scientific method is because you are stupid and require me to school you.
Here's the formula.
You don't need to give me formulas. We're talking about science. If and then relationships. Cause and effect. The effect being torsion bar twist. The cause, independent variable, being, according to you now, gravity. Right, Rumpus? Gravity. So, if it's caused by gravity, then you need to show a causal relationship with, guess what? The scientific method. Isolation of variables. How slow do you need me to talk to you, Rumpus, to drill this simple concept into you?
You don't understand that three things together can cause an effect.
I'm sure they can, but isolating the singular cause of an effect would be called science.
Which one to isolate? You can pick on one of the three to isolate.
So once you've isolated them, and then you perform the experiment, do you validate or invalidate that single independent variable?
Of course you validate it, but it's not that...
sorry, of course you validate it.
That again.
You said, of course you validate it. A hypothesis has got two sides to it.
Oh, well, it would validate in this experiment.
Oh, you've said it again. What do you mean it would? You have two sides to a hypothesis.
Yes, and this experiment's been validated. This hypothesis has been validated into a theory.
Really?
It's been proved.
So yesterday, you told us that the cause of the effect of torsion bar twist, not gravity, was radius. Now, radius doesn't cause anything. Hold on, Rumpus, you're doing it again. You're talking over me.
Okay.
Radius doesn't cause anything. Same as mathematical formulas are not the you're doing it again. Are not the scientific cause of things. You are stupid and need this explaining to you.
Right.
Maths.
Right.
No. It's all right, stupid. Just listen. I know you're like most ignorant people. You talk when you should listen. So listen.
You know, you're the one listening. You've made a
I
statement.
don't, Rumpus. I know what I'm talking about. You are scientifically illiterate because you automatically assume that you have validated a concept as a scientific cause of something. An equation as a scientific cause. That is because you are stupid. There is no other words. I have to speak very slowly to you because you are slow, and it's taking a long time to drill the scientific method into you, Rumpus. It's tedious. You're dull and stupid if I have to continually point out that you validate or invalidate an independent variable as the sole cause of the effect. Not multiples, one. But because you're dumb, you don't get it. I can't help your stupidity, Rumpus. That's your problem.
Things that come together that make the effect. That's what you don't understand. You've got a fundamental misunderstanding of what the independent variable is doing. It's the combination of three variables in this particular case.
Sorry, independent variable is singular.
Yes, but that when the experiment...
So why do you keep saying yes, then saying it's the combination of three? Is it because you are stupid?
No, you're stupid. You don't seem to understand. It's the combination of three things here that are...
No. You establish the sole cause of the effect. A. The letter A. Singular. Okay? Singular. Independent. Not dependent on lots of other variables. An independent variable. And what you do going forward is validate that as the cause or invalidate it as the cause. If you validate it as the cause, it is a validated cause. You have established the cause. Not three, one. Okay, Dumbo? One variable.
You can't count beyond one, can you, Nathan? You don't understand. There are two components to understanding this thing. There's the independent variable that you change by itself, as you say. You only change one thing, but it's in combination in the
No, it's not in combination. Wrong. You are stupid.
Anybody watching this or anybody listening to this will think you're a complete idiot. Well,
No, I understand what the word independent means. That means not dependent on any other things. It means it's independent. So you say yes, it is one independent variable on its own. But you've also got two others. That's because you're stupid.
Also interact with it, Nathan, to cause the effect.
Then it's not science. You are not establishing the cause of the effect. You have what's called a limitation on your hypothesis. Because you cannot isolate the cause. You have multiple variables. So you sit outside of science.
Aren't you, Nathan? You're frightened of reality. You do not like me. You want to censor me is the only argument you've got. Consider this, for instance. Imagine being punched in the face.
No, you're all right, thank you. Don't want to imagine being punched in the face. Imagine that you are in a world where you understand the scientific method, Rumpus. I know it's a world so far apart from where you are.
So there are two
One day you will understand the word independent. One day.
You don't
I have faith that one day you will understand what singular means. One day.
I do, Nathan, but you can't count beyond one.
You don't need to count beyond one. You just need one independent variable to perform the scientific method. You establish the cause of the effect. That's what you do in science.
Demonstrate you're not scared of this equation.
I'm not scared of maths. Tell me that you're not scared of the scientific method and that's why you're playing so dumb and constantly getting it wrong. Is it because you are a slave to the equations that you think I fear? I don't fear your pathetic mathematics. I don't fear them one little bit.
Shows how three things come together and demonstrate the effect. You're scared of this equation because you've got...
Sorry, equations are not the cause of things. Independent variables can be scientifically validated as a one singular cause of an effect. Not multiples, just the one. If you have multiple things causing things, you have a limitation on your hypothesis. It's very simple, but I have to constantly say it very slowly to you, to the point that you eventually concede and say, yes, we only have one independent variable. We only have one cause of the effect that we will scientifically validate or invalidate, and then you'll concede it, and then you'll tell me about the two others that you're going to incorporate.
Nathan, show the equations,
because
show
you're
everybody, all the
stupid.
audience, this equation here will then invalidate your whole position you've had for the last few days.
The way you invalidate something in science is with experimentation, not with mathematical formulas.
This represents the hypothesis, Nathan.
Excuse me, a hypothesis is a very special kind of prediction. That would be in science. It's a scientific prediction. That, sir, is a hypothesis. And in a hypothesis, a scientific prediction, something Rumpus is so far away from ever understanding. In a scientific hypothesis, you establish your predicted cause of the effect. And that cause is an independent variable, something that you, as the researcher, can vary and manipulate in order to cause the effect. If, through systematic experimentation, you validate your hypothesis, that would be your prediction, then you have established the cause of the effect. If, on the other hand, in your systematic experimentation, you invalidate your scientific prediction, the hypothesis, then your independent variable is invalidated as the cause of the effect. At which point, you must find the other cause if you are to propose one. Then you make a new hypothesis with a new independent variable, with a new presumed cause of the effect. And again, you go through systematic experimentation on the singular one independent variable to validate or invalidate that as the single cause of the effect. And if it is not, you then get your next variable and you make a new hypothesis to validate or invalidate your new singular independent variable as the cause of the effect. Now that is how you would process a series of 3 independent variables. They don't interact with each other, they're independent. And once you have experimented, you either validate them or invalidate them as the cause. You've got one. That's science. The Cavendish experiment has got 3. So it's not science.
Well, that escalated quickly.